Hey, what's going on, guys? 81 Oak Ridge. Today I have part 2 of my Blu-ray DVD update, May 17th, 2019. First film is You Were Never Really Here with Joaquin Phoenix. Thought this was a decent film, a little bit too artsy, but I would have liked to see a little bit more gore in this one. A little bit overhyped. A lot of people were talking pretty highly of this film, and just thought it was, average at best. Next up, we have the original Wicker Man. It's one of my all-time favorite horror films. You got gratuitous nudity, just a very weird and bizarre atmospheric horror film from the 70s. I love it. Christopher Lee, great cast, amazing film. And then we have a double feature. This is Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours. Visiting Hours is one of my all-time favorite 80s slashers. I think it's brilliant. Bad Dreams I haven't seen since I was a kid. So I'm definitely going to revisit Bad Dreams. But Visiting Hours has Michael Ironside in it. Any fans of Halloween 2, any fans of slasher films taking place in a hospital will absolutely love this one. Probably one of Michael Ironside's best earlier performances. Great transfer from Scream Factory as well. And we have Derailed with Jennifer Aniston. Exhibit, just a great cast. Basically about a guy who is attracted to a woman on a train. They wind up hooking up and going to a hotel. The guy's married, Clive Owen's character, and he winds up hooking up with Jennifer Aniston's character when somebody breaks open the door and rapes her character in front of him. Now, they extort money from him because the rapist says he will contact his wife and tell her what he's been up to. So he basically is being extorted for all this money. And I'm going to leave it at that. There's a huge twist at the end. I think this is one of the better films of 2005. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Jennifer Aniston is gorgeous in it as well. Definitely underrated. And we have Zodiac from 2007. Gotta hold it like this because all the art is horizontal. This is, of course, about the Zodiac killer who started killing in 1969. They never caught the guy. Just a fantastic film. It's over 2.5 hours long. You got some pretty gruesome kills in there. And I have not watched the second disc for the special features, so I don't know anything about that. But the transfer is amazing on this. Transfer looks incredible. Excellent film. We got Requiem for a Dream. This is the NC-17 cut. The director's cut. It's the only way to watch it. Love this film. This is the type of movie that you show somebody in your family if you have like a drug addict in the family to scare them straight, because this is definitely has some really hardcore moments in there. Just great acting overall. I love it. Okay. Next up, we have Stir of Echoes, which is very similar to The Sixth Sense. The only way to describe this is an R-rated version of The Sixth Sense. But, you know, some pretty genuinely creepy moments in this film. You know, of course, Kevin Bacon is incredible in whatever he's in. Love it. Next up, we have Grace. This is a film that came out in 2009. I remember when I had my YouTube page way back, my first 81 Oak Ridge page. This was, a lot of people were talking about this one. Then it kind of died down and nobody really talked about it again. It's about a woman who gives birth. The baby winds up dying, and then they resuscitate the child, and the baby will only feed through breast milk and blood or something. I haven't seen it in a long time. I have to definitely revisit this one. I think it's blood. The baby needs human blood. So you basically have the mother killing people to get blood for the child. So it's one of those type films. But I thought it was decent. You know, it's not anything that's going to knock your socks off. I think if you see it for, you know, $10, $8, I would definitely pick it up, add it to the collection. But I thought, you know, C+, not a great film, not a horrible film. Okay. Next up, we have Law Abiding Citizen. This is fantastic. I love this film. Looks excellent on Blu Ray. And before I picked this Blu Ray up, I have not seen the unrated cut of this film. And there's a couple of scenes, like when he stabs his one of his cellmates with, I think it's like a T-bone steak. He sharpens the end of it and then stabs him in the neck. That's a lot longer in this cut, in the unrated cut. And there's a couple of other scenes that were obviously cut for the MPAA. But this is a great film. I just love it. I think it's brilliant. You get a sip of coffee here. All right. Next up, we have Children of Men, which is basically a post-apocalyptic film. The last baby or the last woman that was pregnant was 15 years ago. So they find this black woman that miraculously got pregnant, and they're trying to take her into safety. So it's them, you know, people trying to attack them and them trying to protect this one woman. And it's just a great film. This is one, for some reason, I just never really interested me. And then when I sat down to watch it, I was completely hooked. Great film from the UK. This is one of the earlier Blu Ray discs that has the uncompressed audio. And we have Flight Plan, which is fantastic. A woman boards an aircraft. She goes to the bathroom, and her daughter that she brings on board with her is gone. She can't find her daughter anywhere on the aircraft. And there's actually a air marshal that, because she's so like crazy and psychotic on the airplane, she's screaming, "Where's my kid?" They they basically have this air marshal that's on her ass throughout the last half hour of the film. So we don't know who took her kid. We don't know if she's psychotic. We don't know if, you know, the kid was taken. It's one of those type deals, but I love it. Yes, it is PG-13, but the suspense was absolutely palpable in this film. I loved it. Great film. Okay, next up we have The Wrestler. basically Mickey Rourke's, he came back into acting after so many years that he was retired. Thought he was fantastic in this. Basically shows his life and, you know, him going to the strip club and trying to hold a relationship with a stripper who Marissa Tomei plays, who's fucking gorgeous. I mean, she's naked throughout like the entirety of the film, which I have no complaints about. But besides Marissa Tomei being absolutely gorgeous, she's a very good actress, and I thought she held her own with Mickey's performance. Great film. And then we have 1408, which is basically a Stephen King adaptation. You got John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson, who is the owner of the hotel or the manager, and they tell this guy, do not go in this room. Whatever you do, we'll comp you the room. We'll, you know, he offers him like a $500 bottle of scotch. He says, just, you know, go in any room but 1408. And he thinks it's bullshit. And as soon as he gets in the room, that's when shit starts popping. And it's just, it's done very well. You know, there's a lot of CGI, of course, but it's done very realistically. And, you know, it's a pretty creepy film. It's another one that I avoided because it was PG-13, and glad I picked it up on Blu Ray. Okay. Next up, we have Traffic, which is basically about a sex trafficking ring. Omar Epps' character takes his girlfriend out to, you know, a resort because he's going to pop the big question, and they run into some people that, some unsavory characters that are into, you know, exporting women. And there's some racist, you know, bikers that get involved, and it's basically them against this group of thugs, and they're trying to get away. And, you know, law enforcement is in on it. Am I saying it's a modern day masterpiece? No, but I think if you want to see an entertaining film, you know, that has some pretty decent violence in it, I would definitely pick it up. It's got decent acting. Anything from Lionsgate I'll pick. I love Lionsgate. You got the corrupt cop there. You got the racist biker. Just a decent film. You know, I would recommend it for fans of Omar Epps. Okay, next up we have Hell or High Water, which is a very good heist film. It's very reminiscent of those heist films from the 60s and 70s. I liked it. Big fan of Ben Foster. This is not one that has like crazy violence in it. It's more of, you know, shows them robbing all these banks, and it's one of the old school type heist films. I would definitely give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed that one. And we have Backdraft, which I finally got with the slipcover. This is one of my favorite childhood films. A lot of people forget that Robert De Niro's in this one, which he's an amazing actor. One of my all-time favorite actors. I love Robert De Niro. Definitely one of my favorite Ron Howard films. You got Kurt Russell as Bull, and then you got his brother William Baldwin. Love it. We have Den of Thieves, which is this is another bank robbery film. Very similar to the movie Heat. If you like Heat, you will love this. It's almost the director's love letter to the film Heat. I mean, it's so similar to that movie. Got 50 Cent. This is more on the brutal side. If you like, you know, excessive violence, you'll love this one. It's got some pretty badass shootout scenes. Not as good as the shootout in Heat, but... Okay, now we got some DVDs. This is When a Stranger Calls. It's the remake. I don't mind this film. I don't know why people talk shit about it. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I like the original more, but I don't think it's a piece of shit. You know, the bad guy is that guy with the scar on his face. I forgot. He was in a couple of movies during this time frame, but this blonde right here, she was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. She's fucking gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, it's a good, like, home invasion type film. I'll show you, I could open this up. I have a thing with DVDs that have the fucking eco cases. Let's see if I can get this open. There we go. I only buy older DVDs that have the regular old case. I hate like the newer eco cases. I will not. Even the DVD, I'll get rid of it and put it in another case. Next up we have The Invisible, which is basically, this felt like a Ghost remake. You know, Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Felt very similar to that film. You know, it's like this kid is in between life and death, and he's trying to tell all the people that are looking for him that he has to be found before he crosses over to the other side. So he's trying to hint to these people where they put his body. And when I mean body, he's not completely dead, but he's on the brink of death. This is another one. It's a decent film. It's not horrible. It's not, you know, spectacular either. Okay. We have Saving Silverman. This is the R-rated cut. This is one of my all-time favorite comedies. I think this film is brilliant. This is one of my favorite Jack Black comedies. I think this was made in 2000. This is when DVDs were like 20 bucks. I got this from a seller who must have bought it right when it was released. You get like the chapter insert. It comes in a really thick case. Yeah, I love that. I love when they actually put like love into the releases. There's the chapters and whatnot. Okay, there's Saving Silverman. Then we have Funny Games, which is a remake from the same director as the original. To me, the remake is better. It's a shot-for-shot remake with the original film, but I think it's a little bit more brutal because of Michael Pitt's incredible performance. I thought he was amazing in this one. We got Michael Pitt down here. Now let me watch it. She's very, like, as you can see in this picture right here, she cries very beautifully. Like, it's, I know it sounds weird, but like, she's very attractive. Like, I know a lot of people roll their eyes when I say Naomi Watts, but she's very beautiful woman, I think. And of course, that scene they make her strip down in front of her son, and there's some pretty taboo breaking material in this film. I like it more than the original. The original is like slow and boring. I'll show you the inside real quick. I don't think this has a chapter. I should do a video on this showing, like, comparing the old DVDs to the new ones and the new Blu Rays with the recyclable bullshit cases, which I hate. And then we have Orange County, which is definitely one of my favorite comedies. This is another one that Jack Black is just incredible in this. You know, it's got a simple story, but it's got some really funny moments. Jack Black plays a drug addict brother, and his brother, played by Tom Hanks' son, is, you know, he's trying to go to college, he's doing all the right things, and Jack Black is like this scumbag, like pill-popping methadone addict. And he's just like, you know, he has sex with a woman in a burning part. Like, there's a woman that they're trying to get papers for her brother to go to Stanford, and Jack Black's character winds up hooking up with this woman, and they come out in their underwear, and like that part of the campus is on fire. They're just walking out nonchalant, like, oh, do. It's just a great film. I love it. I know I'm rambling. Let me stop. And we have Stay Alive. One more after this, guys. It's another one I really hope that Screen Factory will pick up. I think it's amazing. I love this film. You know, it's not poetry. It's not like knock your socks off, brilliant, sophisticated horror. It's about these people who play a video game that if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's simple as that. But the story of the video game is about Countess Elizabeth Bathory, who everybody knows, you know, killed women and bathed in their blood to keep her skin, you know, soft or something like that. Some bullshit story. But this is a great film. I love it. Definitely needs the red carpet treatment. I'd really like to see this. I don't think Arrow would pick this up. Maybe Screen Factory. Yeah, because it has another cut. From what I hear, it has another cut besides the director's cut. An even longer one that has more gore in it. Get little Frankie Nunez there. Read the specs if you want. Just pause it. Show you the inside real quick. If I could open it. Some of those clean. I love these old DVDs with, you know, they had the chapter inserts, and oh, that's focusing. Yeah, this is when you would go get a DVD and it cost you $25. And last but not least, last DVD we have here is House of Sand and Fog. This film is absolutely amazing. This woman loses her house. She's on the street. And this guy winds up buying it just to flip the house to make a profit on. But she, Jennifer Connelly, this is one of her better performances. I thought she was amazing in this. And this film goes so deep And it goes through so many like peaks and valleys, up and down. It's just very emotional. And I can't say what happens at the end because I don't want to ruin it, but it literally blew my mind. I could not conceive what would happen to this family. If you see this for any price, pick it up. It's, in my opinion, I would probably rate it 9.0 out of 10. This is another one. You got the chapter insert there. I love the old DVDs. I'll hold on to DVDs like this that actually have solid cases and are put together properly, but the new ones that are like cheap and flimsy, I hate. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.